So let's see if we're live. Oh, are we live now? Let me just click on that again. I have to use my other laptop. Let's just see how we're doing.
Live.
Oh, does it say live?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, folks. Well, look, I'm waiting for it to say live. I think we are live. Are we live now? Is it? What's going on?
Can someone let us know? Can you hear us and see us?
Can you hear us?
Live. We're live.
Now I'm live. Now we're live. Now we're live. So welcome everyone. Welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. And first of all, I want to say sorry for being a little bit late. I was at a friend's 50th birthday today, but it was also a leaving party as well. I was on a rooftop terrace and everything like that. Then I saw the time and I was like, oh, quick, let me rush back. And then I took the wrong subway. I took the wrong line. Such was my flap. And so I've literally just arrived, had to WhatsApp the ladies to say, I'm running late. So welcome to the show.
You're here at all, really, Huggy.
I know, and I'm having to use my other laptop, everyone. It's my more modern laptop, but it has a little bit of a delay and a little bit trip on it. So forgive that. We'll have to see how it goes in the chat. But never mind, we're here. So Lady G, thank you so much for joining us. Which part of the world are you in right now? Are you still in Oregon or are you somewhere else?
No. In fact, I almost did the show today from YouTube in front of the building of YouTube. I went to see yesterday. It's 3 huge buildings.
I didn't think of it in bricks and mortar. Oh
yeah, 3 huge buildings is YouTube over here. And right at the moment, I'm by the, I decided to do it from the reservoir over here.
How gorgeous.
Yeah, so I'm in San Bruno, YouTube Central. And yeah, over here, I went to Half Moon Bay today. Got a Guatemalan people.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wonderful. Fabulous, fabulous. And of course, we have the intrepid Lena, Dr. Lena Rodriguez, joining us here on her Sunday morning from Australia. I'm going to do thank you. And I'm going to do my best with the comments, but it's looking a bit choppy already because this is my other computer, guys. So it's like, there's that going on. Indeed. So to give the broad overview, today's show has 3 topics. 3 topics today, and you can probably guess what they are. First one is the Queen. And don't worry, Lena has license to let rip on her thoughts. Daniela. The second one is King Charles and the future of the UK. And the third one, of course, is Duck L'Orange and what's going on there. But the most important thing that we have to find out today is from Lady G, and how was the clam chowder?
Oh, yes.
It was so good.
Because there's good and very good, isn't it? So it wasn't a disappointment for you.
Yeah, no, it was excellent. And then I went and stopped in San Francisco and got some shumai. They're huge, big like this, shumai and pot stickers, and enjoyed those today.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful. Right, as we know, and today, guess what, Lena, this will be the second outing that I did with your cards. I did a show on Wednesday. Yes, so I'll be using them again tonight, and my goodness, they were very ominous. I don't know what juju you sprinkled on each box before it went out. But they were very ominous, and I was doing a read.
If you mentioned Duck L'Orange, they leap off the table.
Oh my God, absolutely. But to sum it up, I did a Wednesday live questions for people, and I did it with Kevin, the healing medium, and I did a read on the collective. Lovely. Oh, he's lovely, yeah. I did a read on the collective with your cards, and I had a shuffle, and I pulled a few decks, pulled 5, and I was like, oh, I feel like I need to pull more. And then I just turned the back over and pulled out 5 cards for a read on the collective, and all 5 were major arcana. And I just knew. I just knew. But really, this all started. So let's discuss the Queen. Ladies, so Lady G, how do you feel about it? And then, of course, Lena will let rip with her thing. But Lady G, what is your perspective on the Queen as I look through the comments?
I think she's glad to leave. She's glad to be on the other side with her husband, you know, and let go of all the stuff that she had to deal with here. I mean, I think she just, through her reign, she did the best that she could and was dedicated to that job.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Lena,
before I go into my Republican rave, I'll endorse that, Lady G, because no one did a better job than Elizabeth did with that. I mean, she, outlived 13 prime ministers or something and 14 presidents or something ridiculous like that. She met 15
prime ministers,
in the Commonwealth. She's been the backdrop to our lives from birth, which brings me to what that means, right? And the lived experience. So if you're my age, late 60s, and you grew up in Australia or Canada or New Zealand or Botswana or Kenya or anywhere in the Caribbean, we had to sing God Save the Queen every morning of our lives and then sit in classrooms with her picture. Every classroom I ever walked into had her picture, always the same picture, everywhere. Now, when you think of the diversity of the Commonwealth countries all over the world, one of the things they did two main things. One was forbid you to speak your own language. So Maori kids were beaten, Aboriginal kids were beaten, Native American kids were beaten for speaking their own language. And then you had to sit in school. Your own history was wiped out, and you had to learn how fabulous your colonizers were. That was history. Isn't the British family a marvelous institution? Right. So if you take language from people and you take history from people, that's how you destroy culture, and that's how you destroy people's confidence in themselves. You create a permanent insecure identity that is with you for life. And that was their project, and they did it very effectively. So I'd just like to share a couple of things. One was, because I've spent time 20 years ago trying to repatriate human remains from the British Museum from Maori people and Aboriginal people, and it takes years and years and years and years and years to. And I saw on Instagram yesterday, an Aboriginal activist has said, "Oh, Queen Elizabeth has died. Perhaps you'd like to send her body to us in a crate and we'll put it in the basement of a museum."
Indeed, yes. So obviously what I would say, because obviously, look, I'm a Brit, as you know, I was born here in the UK. But I also recognize that what I would refer to myself is as a child of empire. Yeah, my parents were from Jamaica. And I actually, with my late father, actually once upon a time when I was working in events, I asked him a rather silly question. And I had to do security checks and all that kind of stuff. And they wanted to know about the parents as well. So I said to my dad, "When did you become a British citizen?" And he's like,
I'm laughing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, son, I've always been a British citizen because Jamaica didn't leave that whole kind of thing until I think it was 1973. It declared independence. So, of course, the Queen, or shall we say the Crown, does have a very blood-stained history. And let's not be children about this. We're all grown-ups here, yeah? We're all grown-ups. And we know that it's been very complex, and there's been all sorts. I mean, Queen Elizabeth I used to get her her captains to raid the Spanish ships, and all that kind of stuff. And then we became a naval power and a global power, and then an industrial power. So there's a lot there in terms of when it comes to, Commonwealth and not only that, empire and many of the cruelties that were perpetrated under that name. Not, of course, Queen Elizabeth II personally, but that's what the crown does represent in many ways. Yeah. However, there has been a change. There have been some apologies.
Fill me in.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Did you not see Prince Charles when he went to Jamaica? Yeah, he went to Jamaica and he apologized for the legacy of slavery and the horrific things it did. So there's been a bit of a mea culpa. Not completely, of course, but over the years, the position has evolved. But when we put that part of history, which I'm glad that we've spoken about, and I hope that's been an education for some people, the Queen, at the end of the day, is the Queen. And her reign was from, as we know, like in the 1950s, was it 1952 or something like that? She ascended the throne. Britain was the sick man of Europe, could well be again, surprise, surprise. But she defined an era.
She absolutely did.
Absolutely. And she was the most experienced statesman on earth. We need to remember that. The most experienced statesman on earth. I think she visited over 200 and something travels and trips and stuff. And what I want to say is this. Now, we know that this is all epic. All the planets were going retrograde. You remember I was talking about the retrograde planets? 5 planets retrograde, and guess what? On the day that she died, Mercury went retrograde the day after. 6 planets to herald a great passing. Yeah. But one of the things is you can often tell a lot about a life, about what one says about you when you're dead. And it's been a very piquant and mixed feelings for me, because obviously I recently lost my father, who I wasn't especially close to. But we had a lot in common, and the James genes, on my dad's side, it's the James genes. They are very, very strong. And I, of course, have been in touch again with my dad's side of the family after a long break, like 15 years.
Yeah.
And that's a long time. And we've been reminiscing, sharing pictures and stuff like that. And it's been uncanny for me that we're having this personal family funeral that we're trying to...
Yes.
And this huge, historic funeral where the world is going to be invited. And it's amazing. So many people say so many things when a person passes. And one of the things that you can tell about a person's life, of course, is what they say about the life afterwards. And one of the things that was very poignant for me, because the day after I was really starting to feel it. I was like, oh God, Dad's gone and Queen's gone. And it's all falling apart. Yeah. It's all, feeling dreadful. And I did some consultations and I felt a lot better. And one of the things that really got me, though, was we've seen all these tributes coming from all over the world. And one of the ones that really surprised me, although I wasn't too surprised, was the tribute from Vladimir Putin. And it made me think, and I just thought, this man, as we've talked about him a lot on the show, is bona fide one of the most evil people in the world. He really is. And he just is. He has an incredible chart. I've done his chart, but he is. And I thought to myself, wow, someone that wicked, who is at war with the UK, respected the Queen that much
to do that,
to say condolences to her, the royal family, and the UK. And for me, that was like, I was just sitting there and I was like, wow. If even your enemies or technical enemies can sing your praises,
yes,
I think it says something. So I'll leave it there. Ladies, more reaction as I shuffle.
Yeah, Lady G.
Nope.
Overwhelmed by the... Now, we have to change now our money and our stamps. And
oh gosh, you too.
Yesterday to work out that I was told we have to change our passports. Oh, what? And so I dug out my passport, and it has Australian citizenship all over it. And of course, in small print on page 2, you know, to the monarchy. But here's the thing that I think is going to shake everything up. The Queen was the Queen. Mm-hmm. Even the name King Charles III sounds awkward and ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I think there's going to be a lot of tension around that, because apart from what people think of Charles and his consort, etc., mm-hmm. kings, no one wants to live under a king, right? When you think of kings, you think of repressive powers and a queen sounds much more sort of accessible and nice, you know. I think it's going to shift the balance completely and forever, because I don't know that people, a lot of young Australians have not thought about any of this stuff, you know, ever. Mm-hmm. And suddenly it's we've got a king, you know, like, what? Yeah. So I'm interested in the patriarchal sort of thing that kingship represents too. It's a different buzz.
Shall we take a look? Let's take a look. Because what I guess the way it neatly segues, and what I was going to ask is, so let's look, because we know what the Queen's legacy, and it was just absolutely epic, and they're absolutely gigantic shoes to fill, irrespective of what.
Oh, no one will top her on that.
No one. Just, it's impossible. And what I said, I wrote a little blog post. Oh, look at that. The sun's there in there, New Starts, Enlightenment. And I said on a little message to the community on the community channel, and I said, this is the official end of the 20th century.
Yeah.
Even though it technically, yeah, go on.
Yeah. We are now in, get your head around this, the Carolean era.
Yeah.
Because of Charles. We've finished the Elizabethan era, and now we're in the Carolean. What?
Yeah, Carolean. It comes
Charles
from
a Spaniel, right?
It comes from Carolius. I think it comes from Carolius. So it's basically a Roman equivalent of Charles, and so they call it the Carolean age. But we've not been in the Carolean age in the UK for over 400 years.
Well, yes, and because of Mercury retrograde too. Do you think he'll be there long? You know.
A good question.
Hopefully he does better than the other King Charles, which was added by one of my relatives, was with their.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Wow.
Lady G.
Well, we'll have to see. I've just been shuffling. Look what's at the base of the deck. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big change. So look, let's pull on it. Let's pull and see what the reign of King Charles III and the Carolean age will bring. Let's go for it. I know, it's extraordinary, isn't it? Like, what's happening in the world? It's just extraordinary.
Let's see. What's going to happen with King
What's going to happen with Charles and his Carolean age? I think he's actually going to, for me personally, I think he's actually going to be a good king. He has a lot of heartfelt emotion, and we've got over 1,000 people with us as well. So
hello, 1,000 people.
Let's see. So we'll do Charles.
Oh,
and then
my goodness.
UK, and then we'll do Duc L'Orange and all of that circus. Oh my God. Trump.
Oh my word.
Whoa, what do you have? Who wants to go first?
I will, if you like.
Go for it.
The Queen of Cups turned up. Now, although Elizabeth was a Taurus, I think this is the emotional hold she has on the country and the world, and the symbolism that she represents, all of that as the first card. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah. Now, these cards blew me away, actually. So the Five of Pentacles came next, and I think that means that many people love her or hate her. You've got to admire her, and people are feeling lost on the other side. I mean, she was 90 plus. It's not as though it wasn't going to happen, but it's still a big deal. It's a really big deal.
Yes, huge.
Then you won't believe this. Wheel of Fortune followed by the World. So, you know, karma, fate, and destiny of what will happen now will impact the world.
Wow.
And Page of Wands, the young person coming through. Presumably, this is the, you know, young William, and what's her dreary thing? Oh, Kate. No one should be allowed to be that boring in public office. I'm sorry, call me a I can't even remember her name. She's so dreary.
Oh, bless.
I think this is their way forward. It's like a leap over Charles. It will fall to them. Hopefully, I think the best outcome for Britain would be they become like the Danish or the Dutch royals, and they ride their bikes to Sainsbury's, and, you know, they have lives like that. But at the moment, we're still facing the big cards.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Lady G, what do you have for us? As I pick up some of the comments here. So yeah, we've got some people that aren't so keen, but you know, it's open debate. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, what I have going in, heavy wears the crown. I think that it's going to be difficult for Charles to maintain his power and stability. And I also get the, climate card.
Wow, yeah.
Card, and there will be some sort of retreat with it. And he is going to come to a crossroads.
Yeah. Wow. Very, very, very. Let's see. And let's just see. I'll just click up one more comment. So someone said, Melody Lemon, whether or not we appreciate the life of the Queen Liz, it's surely important to know that duty of self is foremost and beautiful. So yeah, she absolutely did represent duty, especially when we look at, I think one of the things that was very touching just before I read my cards, was some of the tributes by the politicians. And Liz Truss, who of course is the new leader, so you can imagine she shakes hands with the Queen, and the Queen then dies, you know, not a great omen.
Yeah, it's her fault.
Right,
exactly. Shakes hands with the Queen. The Queen's like, I've done my bit now. She dies. And then you have two new leaders that are fresh in the job. Liz Truss, 1 week into her premiership, and she's had an earthquake.
Yes.
And Charles is only just there. I think I was going to make another point, but it's gone. But anyway, look at this. So the question was, what will King Charles's reign, the thirst, what will the Carolean age bring for the UK?
Sorry, I can't get used to it.
I know, it sounds really weird. You love this, Lena.
Yeah.
Look at that tower. But really and truly, look, can there really be any other card to describe this moment for the UK? When you think of everything that's happened, with all the scandals in politics, the failures of Brexit, seismic events, and you know what occurred to me the other day, ladies? Please indulge me, because you know, obviously this doesn't happen.
Yeah. It's a special show.
It's a special show because this is just epic. And you know, one of the things what came to mind, as particularly with Brexit and the cost of living crisis, and why everyone's so calm about it, or were, and I think it's because of this. The Queen has been such a constant through ups and downs and rounds.
Oh, she's been the steady anchor, there's no doubt.
Absolutely. And what I think was this. I think the Brits thought, we can get through anything as long as we have the Queen.
That's right.
And now we don't.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of mother's protection. Do you remember in Harry Potter, and there's a bit where he's got this lightning streak on his head, and there's a bit where Voldemort, after many attempts of trying to get Harry Potter. And he says, I can touch you now because that spell that your mother cast upon you to protect you, she sacrificed her own life. Yeah. And he said, a mother's magic is the most powerful of all. And I think many people in Britain, we thought we were untouchable. I mean, look, I voted to remain. I knew it was going to be disaster. I'm an astrologer, yeah? So I look at the skies and go, oh my God, this is BS. We're screwed, yeah? But no one else believed it. But now she's gone. We do not have that protection anymore, and everyone knows it. And this card is just saying it there. Look at the next card, Page of Cups. Here we are. We go to Venice with Lena's deck. What's cups? Emotions, yeah? Emotions.
Yeah, it's all much.
Feeling it. Absolutely feeling it. Next card. Knight of Swords. Things are going to rush forward, yeah? This is, look, we all have to go at a pace. The wheels are coming off. Winter is coming, everyone, and we know that. Putinska has thrown every kind of wicked animal he can into every cauldron he can think of to give Europe the coldest winter it's ever had.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Look what I get as well. Queen of Cups.
Oh, yeah, you get her too. Yeah, the mother.
Look at that. The mother energy. It really and truly, and many people have been saying this, it's true. The nation has lost the mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother to the nation.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, for sure.
It really is. And I was really feeling it 2 days in. Honestly, I was surprised. I was like, oh, my God. And then the outcome, 4 of Cups. Cups again, not liking the options. Yeah. Why? Because we're broke. Yeah.
Yes. And cold. You will be soon.
Cold. So what I'm praying for is a warm winter, but you never know. The fates might give us a cold one, which is exactly what Putin wants. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So, any extra thoughts on that, ladies?
No, I think we'll let her rest in peace now, will we?
Yeah. Living in America, we really have nothing to do with the royal family, except for when they have some big brouhaha, something on TV about them. Otherwise, we have no connection with it like so much of the rest of the world does.
And you have to feel for Harry, who has lost his mother and his grandmother and is out in the cold. How awkward would that be, you know?
I have something to add to that. I'm glad you read my mind, Lena. Well, what happened today was something very interesting. They were looking at the flowers in Windsor, yeah, one of the other palaces, of course. And on the walkabout today was Prince William. Well, now actually Prince of Wales, the Princess of Wales, Catherine / Kate, and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, all
so
together, side by side.
Interesting.
So before
that's the other thing. Will the UK break up? You know.
Shall we ask?
This? Let's have a
chop.
Because the twin pressures of Brexit and herself holding it all together with the apron strings, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see. While you guys are shuffling, let's see what else is in the comments as I scroll down.
Jerry says Rottweiler. Camilla, I thought I was the only one who called her the Rottweiler, but obviously not.
Well, you know what? She's actually a very warm person, believe it or not, Camilla.
Oh, look, it's not her fault. They just did what the royals have always done for the last 1,200 years, which is have mistresses. You know, I mean, spare me.
Yeah. Someone here.
His own grandmother was the mistress of the king.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, so don't get me. Someone says Princess Anne could replace her mother. No, she couldn't. No, she couldn't.
So here we are. So someone says, Leo Perido says, really, Hogarth? Yes, really, because I'm an astrologer. I look at the stars. I look at the rhythms. I look at the epochs. I don't take history personally. If I did, I wouldn't be able to do my job. I wouldn't be able to do my job. My job is to look at the energies of what was happening. And you know what, really, this was on the cards from the last lunar eclipse. It really was. When there was that eclipse in sidereal Taurus at 3 degrees of Taurus, the exact exaltation point of the moon, I said, it means about the queen. It's on the way. So anyway, so go on, Lena. Sorry, you were saying.
Elizabeth says, why don't we speak some positivity and wish Charles well? He has his own compassionate wisdom and fortitude.
Thank you.
And he does care about climate change and all of that. But of course, now he's king. He has less power than ever to intervene. It's tricky, Elizabeth. I'm just saying, take your point, wish him all the best, but
I think he'll be a good king, actually.
It's a terribly difficult time. What are we reading on? Sorry. Oh, the UK.
So, the future of the UK. But I think he will be a good king. He will do his best. But let's see what the cards have to say.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here.
Well, he's been rehearsing for 70 years. He'll be.
And his speech was very heartfelt about his mother and stuff. It's a very heartfelt speech.
No, he's not a stupid man, and he has got a heart,
And he cares about the environment as well. Long before it was fashionable, he was ridiculed for everything he said about the environment, and now he's been vindicated.
Yes.
Yep.
So there is goodness there in Charles.
Oh, sorry, Elizabeth, you're not going to like these cards.
Yeah, let's see what's here. Future of Britain. What do you have for us, Lena? Ooh.
Well,
oh, look at that.
I hope it's not my little toxic thoughts bringing this up. But look, I think the UK, as in an entity, is struggling now because of this, because it's literally a deep-worn habit of just talking about the UK. What does the UK mean and all of that, right? And now all these titles, Princes of Wales are changing in Edinburgh. It's highlighting the component parts, what makes up the United Kingdom. Now, this is not good. The 9 and 10 of Swords.
Wow.
9 and 10 of Swords. The Knight of Swords here, I think this, yes. I think this will be a push by the nationalist movements all over to make it happen. But 2 interesting cards, the Strength card and the Burden. So I think, although it's a burden, there is a strength coming through here. So I'd say not yet, at least. But it's on the cards from now on, as far as I'm just, what I mean. Like.
Right. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, it kind of feels like things are written in the book, and this is moving to try to feather the nest somewhere else. Something coming to the painful, and new action going forward. Again, another card of movement, because something is going to come out about some poisonous, snaky things behind the scenes.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, can I jump in before you, Hoagie, here? It says, Jezebel says, let's not forget that Prince Charles championed organic food, and he was vilified for that.
Yeah.
And the Prince's Trust has done a lot of good. He's also tried to do energy-proof housing, and he's always got battered away for anything progressive that he's done. It's true.
Basically, Charles was ahead of the curve talking about this stuff long before it was fashionable.
30 years ago, he was talking about this.
Long before it was fashionable. He faced ridicule, censorship. He got penalized. They would call them the spider papers, because he would write in this spidery writing and try and lobby and stuff on behalf of Gaia. And now what's happened is the wheel has turned. Now, the irony is, now that he's king, he's not supposed to say anything, but everyone now knows his views.
Yes.
So he is going to use the energy, as it were, I would say, of the crown to try and bring through changes. Now, my cards actually are a lot more positive. Wow.
Thank goodness.
I normally get the dramatic ones, but here we are. So this is the card that fell out the deck. Here we are. Britain moving for smoother waters. Yeah, we've got to move on. Yeah, in many different ways. We all know it's all gone tits up, as they would say, and we've just got to deal with the consequences now. Brexit has happened and all that stuff. No one's got any money or any food, and we'll just
Yeah, that's right.
do you know what I mean? We just got to move on, because that was it. That lunar eclipse in November, I think it was 2021, happened the exact exaltation point of the moon, which meant the Queen, but it also meant food, security, money, family, values. That's why I said in that video back then, I'll have to dig it out, I said 2022 will be about those things, and thus it has come to pass. So the future of the UK, look at this, I get the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. And so obviously what this is, the slow and steady, the loyal knight. But you know what everyone's thinking about? Their bloody bills.
Yes.
Oh, everyone's like, oh my God, this is going to cost so much. You know, I'm very fortunate with my bills, but some people are really like in a pickle. Yeah. So everyone's thinking about their money. When is the money going to come? Money feels like it's slowed down. This can, even though it can deal with steadfastness, you know, going forward for the future. It's the slowest moving card in the deck. This can literally mean slow money. Does this mean the economy is slowing down? We are slated to go into recession this year. Here we are. We have the Emperor. So we know who this is. It's King Charles III and the Caroline. So here he is going, oh my God, what am I going to do about all of this? Yeah. Things on the money front aren't looking that great. And, you know, I've got to manage. Look what comes out next. Two of Pentacles, juggling. There's going to be ups and downs in the economy. There's going to be ups and downs in his reign. How can there not be, with the environment basically looking absolutely crazy, 40-degree heat, flood, drought, and everything all in between? And this also talks about the UK's future. Yeah, uncertain. We're going to have to juggle. We're going to have to hustle, folks, here in the UK. However, could it be that the Carolean age becomes what was referred to as the Restoration, which was King Charles II. So King Charles I had his head cut off. And then there was an interregnum, which is another word for Brexit combined with COVID. So it was really not a great time, you know, in the UK. Then we had the Restoration, which was King Charles II. Now, he was very touchy-feely and had a lot of mistresses and stuff, but it heralded a renaissance in Britain of arts, culture, beauty, trade, blah, blah, blah. Look at this. The Three of Cups cometh. And then for the outcome card, could it be? Look, we get the Sun. Could it be, after a tumultuous time, or maybe a time of economic strife and recession, where the Emperor, using his soft power, is able to spiritually kind of guide the Britain through these choppy times to a point of celebration of the arts, because we know he does love his arts as well, and organic. And could this be a new birthing for Britain? Ooh.
I think in a way it almost has to be, you know, a reinvention. But Patricia was saying in the comments, Germany's issued a financial package to help people with their energy bills, right? And I think the UK will be under pressure to do that too. I think what we're looking at with energy everywhere is, because not us as people who have been yapping on about climate change, but as countries, ignoring it for decades. And now governments are going to have to pay because all these huge companies controlling energy, who have been subsidized by the public purse. Now people have to be bailed out with the public purse. And this is why peak capitalism, this is what we're seeing. People have to be paid by the government to live. Right? It's got so bad because these corporations were so greedy and because they were allowed to get so out of control. We could have had companies who were successful still making profits. I don't have a problem with companies making profits, but not profit at any price.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you see what I'm not saying it very clearly, but ironically, if they hadn't let these companies go so far, it wouldn't be such a critical issue. And it is. And we've got to stop paying filthy companies who then make these profits. It's crazy. Put that money into green energy.
Absolutely. And maybe now it will. And thank you, Catherine, for your donation, because I did a write-up on the community, but that age, that 20th century thinking, that top-down structure, all of that, the legacy that is decaying in front of us over the last 10, 15 years, that energetically now is at an end. It's ended with the Queen. 6 planets are retrograde, review to say this has now ended. So we are going into a new age where this will be questions more deeply, I think. So anything else to add to that, ladies, before we talk about Duck L'Orange?
Well, Kim says corporate welfare needs to end. Yes. So I totally agree. And in Australia, it's the same way. We subsidise the coal industry and all these filthy industries. We export gas to everywhere else and then can't get it and have charged this huge amount. I mean, no matter where you look, it's the same crazy dynamic. And I think this is a good thing. I think it had to get, this rotten to root it out.
Absolutely. So last comments here, some people, she was supposed to be abdication, because it was fate with these things. It was what happens if there's one thing. Now a lot of people obviously this will be the last thing, last thing about this, and everyone goes, well, they're born into the job, they're born into such privilege, how is that fair? But there's this. When it comes to monarchy and succession, you cannot buy it.
No, that's right.
We only need to look at modern day politics to see who can and cannot be bought. And almost every politician can be bought. And there is something still to this day, which she proved to the end of her life, when she made that vow when she was 21 years old. And she said, I make this vow to you for however short or long my life will be, that I will do my duty to you to my last breath. How many people on planet Earth are able to hold vows like that now, particularly when we think about Duck L'Orange, who cannot tell the truth for 3 minutes?
No, he couldn't tell the truth if his life depended on it.
So I just thought I would add that little thing. So let's look at Duck L'Orange.
Duck L'Orange. While we're shuffling, I did a video yesterday that included the Oath Keepers, and I was interested in how they see themselves, because they've now found, of course, there's so many law enforcement officers, elected officers, military and ex-military in the Oath Keepers. Now, they all took an oath to defend their country and constitution, but they call themselves the Oath Keepers. So I was interested, what oath are they talking about?
It's fictitious. It's utterly fictitious. So Duck L'Orange, for those who don't know by this point, also known as the Yeti. Do you know what came to me today? Today when I was thinking about it, because now many people says he doesn't read and all this kind of stuff, but look, he does read. He reads Mein Kampf and classified papers.
By the bedside.
That's what he reads. And I was reflecting on him because his moon, he has an extraordinary moon. It's terrible. Yeah, it's a terrible moon. But my goodness, it falls into an angle and it falls into the 13th sign called Ophiuchus. I've mentioned this before. The Serpent Priest. Yes, the good side of the Serpent Priest is someone using spirituality for the good of others and earth.
Mhm.
The shadow side of it is cult leaders. And what is, as terrible as he is, this is his talent. Yeah. Conning people. This is the only man that can literally con, brainwash in broad daylight. And a simple thing came to my mind, and I just thought, his gift is grift.
Yes, very clever, Hogarth.
That's it. So
it's true.
It's true. It's absolutely extraordinary. So what would you like to ask about Duck L'Orange? Because there is so much that has developed in this time. What do you think we should ask about him, ladies?
Oh, it's hard, isn't it? There's so many things.
I'm going to get some water. I'm listening.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is, Lady G. It wouldn't matter if Trump dropped off the perch tomorrow. Trumpism is now out there. It's out of the bottle. So
yeah,
I think we don't have to still fixate on his personality per se.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something about how the GOP handles him going forward, or something. How it impacts the GOP. I don't know. Anyone else got a good question there?
Lady G, I mean, we can ask that. I mean, they are in an absolute ridiculous position now, of course, especially that judge who is just, I mean, her license, that wherever she got her law license, should just be flushed down the toilet. Obviously part of the Federalist Society. Let's see, we've got a couple of time. Let's do a couple of reads. Oh, look at this. Look what's at the base of the deck when we're talking about
yeah.
Look at that, all that stuff. So let's look at what is the energy around the GOP, and how are these revelations of Trump going to affect them? And then we can look at Trump himself. How about that?
Okay. But I would like to do a read pretty soon on these prophets that are behind all these people. Each one of them has one of these prophets
yes,
behind them, and they're just crazy stuff that they're saying. I know the guy that
you're talking financially, not like a prophet seer. Yeah, prophet driven.
No, I think you mean prophet.
Oh, prophets. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay.
Yeah, well, prophet seers, like the guy that's running in Pennsylvania has his prophet, and then there's the women that have these prophets, and then you listen to what these ones are saying, and it's just really.
Oh, wow. Shall we look at that?
Yes, look at that. Yeah, let's look at that. Let's look at that now. So, what's going on with the energy of these prophets, these prophet people?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's go there.
Let's have a look.
What's going on with these? Oh, two jumpers. Wow. Oh gosh, very interesting cards. That lecter. These are lovely illustrations, by the way, Lena. They've really grown on me, this deck. I really like the colors.
The artist Alexandra, she was so kind and patient, because I'd just say things like, not like that, like that. she'd come up back with a picture. But what I tried to do, the aim was to keep it recognizably with the energy and the imagery of the Rider-Waite, and just update it.
Yeah.
Not reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Oh, we got 1,500, by the way, just now. Wow.
Oh, welcome, everybody.
That's really
welcome
cool.
To Sunday in Australia.
Thank you. Really, really cool. That's a lot of people. All right.
Has anyone got any baroccas there? You know, I've had a big night. You know.
Who would like to go first, Lady G or Lena?
Sure. what I have is they're in it for the long game, distant horizons, you know, trying to anchor in these things that they're bringing in, new actions, going to beat people over the head with it, bring it to a painful end, the way that Christianity actually should be, to bring in their newfound, you know, this evangelical nationalism, national nationals, snaky things under the guise of Christianity.
Yeah, good. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. 1,500 viewers. We've got 1,500 is 50 times more than a Trump rally.
She's always got a zinger up her sleeves. What cards do you have, Lena?
Well, look, they're crystal clear. They're like a child's storybook.
Really? Wow.
We're talking about the prophets, right? That they have a hidden agenda to make money for themselves, right? You know. But just a little thing for people learning tarot. We forget, even as professional readers, we often forget Pentacles is about values as well.
Yes, yes.
Presenting these old-fashioned values, here's the card of nostalgia, keeping people hostage to their next utterance, to their next, when they're told what to think. Their aim is to keep people passive, right? While the prophets themselves make plans to make more money and get more power.
Yeah.
So it was like an ABC
Gosh.
book. What did you get, Hogs?
Very interesting. So here we are. Look at this. The Tower comes back again. These are the two jumpers, by the way. They both leapt out of the deck. So obviously, this deck has got very strong opinions. So I think, look, that Tower moment has arrived, because people are just looking at this now. And this is like, it's, you know, the stuff that's coming out now is now so utterly ridiculous. It's beyond parody. You can't even take the mick out of it. It's so batshit that you're just like, I think now there is almost a silence that's descended on people. Do you know what I mean? It's just numbing, you know, because it's crazy. So we know these evangelicals or whatever, they're just proper crackpots, yeah? Here's the Hierophant. So here they are. They've been scheming and infiltrating into the government. These are the people in the government that are following these crazy people, yeah? With their weird messages. Oh, look. Wait, there's another card stuck behind. Pardon. Look at that. Queen of Wands. Ginny Thomas. Literally, I was just like that. And I was like, this card feels a bit thick. And then look, Queen of Wands. Ginny Thomas. Now, we know that she's a bloody fanatic, don't we? She's absolutely...
Totally.
Look at that. Honestly, I did not know that had happened. I was feeling the card felt a bit thick. Then look, Queen of Cups comes again. How many times have I shuffled and it's pretty much the same coming out? So here we are. Look, this is about the emotions, but it's not just that. It's more than that. The Queen of Cups also has secrets. And I think the lid has been ripped off these secrets, really, hasn't it? And it's just we just live in such strange, almost hysterical times. This is how I feel when I think about the GOP and these people, these evangelists. I feel like they're kind of hysterical, frothing at the mouth, you know, completely crazy. They've been celebrating like lunatics, as if, you know, like, so they're predicting, oh, the world is going to end. And it's like, bring me that old time religion. They're like, yay, yay, let's bring on the end of the world. Yeah, because we're all going to be saved. It's like, no, you're not. And really what's happening is this sleepless nights and all this stuff. Everyone's looking at the GOP is looking at the Trump situation, and they're like, you know what? We can't get him or ourselves out of this one. So it's a delay, that whole judge thing. And she's basically been instructed, you're wrong. She's been told she's wrong. This is ridiculous. Ladies, anything else to add to that? Any intuitive hits?
Yeah, a lot of times I see the Queen of Cups as a Pandora's box, taking the lid off the Pandora.
Oh, okay, yes.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah, I think there's truth in that. All right, we've got a few minutes left. The hour has whizzed by. Let's read on Duck Larange and his future. Yeah, is this douchebag going to go to jail or be under house arrest or whatever? Will there be accountability for this man?
The eternal question, isn't it?
One thing I'll share, I've said it before, but it's worth sharing again. Believe it or not, Duck Larange has a very powerful yoga in his chart. And this yoga in his chart allows him to defeat his enemies. I kid you not. When a person has a cruel planet like Mars or Saturn in a cruel house like a Dustana house, which would be 6, 8, or 12, and that same cruel planet sits in a Dustana house, it creates this very powerful yoga, which basically, so for Trump, Saturn is the 6th lord. Yeah, I won't explain it too much, but he's the 6th lord. Yeah. And his 6th lord, Saturn, sits in his 12th house. The 6th house is the house of enemies. The 12th house is the house of endings, bringing things to a close. So what it can mean is, it can mean that person has this uncanny ability to defeat their enemies. Just saying that. I think it's run out, but
we've seen it. Yeah, let's hope it just gets exhausted. But we have seen that beyond from. Remember, he was in the White House for 2 days or something, and he was saying, I want everyone all over the world to stay in my hotel. And everyone said, oh, emoluments, the president can't do that. And from that moment, or even before, but you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what he did. The famous line, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue. What you were just saying astrologically, Hogarth, he was absolutely right.
Yeah. It's uncanny, and it's quite a rare yoga. I can't remember the name of it now. I've got it in the book.
Thank God for that.
But he does have this thing, and it's that Teflon Don. Yeah. It's a very negative yoga, but powerful.
Okay, the Yeti going forward.
Duck Larange. Yeah, what's going to happen with this man? Let's have a look. Loving these cards. Oh, interesting. Oh my God! Honestly, it's like I'm just picking up the same cards, Lena. I mean, it's changed a little bit, but there's a few friends that have come back.
I promise you there are 78 cards in the deck.
I've picked about 10 the whole night. So who would like to go first, Lady G or Lena?
Lady G.
Okay, well, on the horizon, he's not going to like what's coming.
Yeah.
Because in the center of it is justice. There will be a lot of sleepless nights and nightmares for the Snake Man. So I think his things are going to come back to bite him.
Wow. Lena, what do you have for us?
Well, here he is symbolized by the 9 of Pentacles, the comfortable life, thank you, that he's lived until this point, despite everything he's said and done, you know, he's still walking around a free man. There's a conflict in others of how to deal with Trump, the man, but obviously they're going to try and do it through the money trail. I'm thinking more the Letitia James stuff, even the Alvin Bragg stuff, of tackling his ability and the 3 generations represented in the card. He gets then the 10 of Swords, which isn't fun, you'd have to say, and the Tower. I mean, you know, I see this so often as Trump Tower, metaphorically, symbolically, literally. So in answer, just to finish off, in answer to accountability, we've had these readings now for years that there will be a reckoning. But what it looks like for him, it's only money. That's his identity. That is his philosophy. That is his religion. Right, you know, it has to be the money. So it's almost not about jail, it's about losing the money.
Right.
And the ability to borrow more money, because always he could do that, and now the name's poison.
Oh God, that name is totally trashed. I did one reading when I was looking at Ivanka's chart, and she was about to turn 40. And I was able to predict the insurrection as well from her D9 second half of life chart by looking at the father. And I said, he's going to do something horrible. Right. So Duck LaRoche. Look, my cards are a bit mixed. So let's just see. Look what I get here. I get the 4 of Wands. Yeah. 4 of Wands, which is about what? Safety, security, and all of this kind of stuff. Can even talk about the White House. Yeah. But this as well, look, it's a marriage. Now, but because now normally this is a very positive card, but we're talking about the Yeti here. Yeah. So really what this is about, this is talking about all of his marriages, all of his alliances with all of these people that he's brought back to Mar-a-Lago to shuffle papers with. And, you know, he's probably got pages, top secret documents between pages of Playboy, quite literally. They're probably not saying it, but it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. So there's that. And then look, we then have the retreat. Yeah. The retreat. This is, you know, retreating after battle, having to kind of withdraw and stuff like that. So, of course, Duck LaRoche is on the back foot. And as my Mar-a-Lago dream, it showed Mar-a-Lago ultimately ending up earthquaked and under the waters. So this is also what he's trying to avoid as well, because Mar-a-Lago and his presidency has basically been this and the GOP. And now he's like, oh, things aren't looking so hot. Yeah, he's got to try and figure it out. But what's also in his way, look, justice. Yes, justice turns up in the middle. I think what our cards and what our readings are showing is, as frustrating as it is, justice keeps coming up. It will get him in the end. Whether it's either he's drawn in front of the courts or he just kicks the bucket. Who knows? Yeah. Look at this. The 3 of Cups is back. Honestly, it's my first time. So now this is funny. Now, could this mean that there will be singing and rejoicing in the streets once justice has come? Yeah, there can be that.
Yeah.
But I think there's also a feeling that basically Duck LaRoche has been dancing around the justice system literally for decades. Yeah, he really has been being what
we just broke up from
with justice as well. Delaying. He's like dancey. You know, he should have a pair of maracas, really, and bananas on his head, shouldn't he? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I think this could be... is it? Yes, because it's this other computer. Sorry, the energies. So on one hand, this shows treatment when it comes to the law. Yeah? It's it differently, but this could also show that are events.
Sorry, we can't hear. It's really
either way. His outcome is the Chariot. So whether his delay tactics will not work, because ultimately this is out of his hands. Things have to run forward because now it's a matter of national security. Do you know what I mean? It really is. Oh, the internet.
The scales.
Can you hear me now?
When I did a reading,
can you hear me now?
September. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because I had to use the hour. Can you believe it? The hour is gone. We're 4 minutes over the hour.
And it held the whole time.
Perfect.
Yes.
Great.
Wow.
Sue says she saw something that said the Queen had knighted him secretly. No, no, there isn't a hope in hell that happened. You have to do something to be knighted, and it takes years to get up the list, and it's a very elaborate process, and he would not have had that experience. And if he did, he can't shut up. He would have had pictures of it everywhere.
Oh my God, he would be crowing about it every day for the rest of his life. So no, it didn't happen.
It's just ridiculous. He had more chance of being knighted with Her Majesty's chamber pot than being given the honor. No, certainly not. So can you believe it, ladies? The hour's gone. We're 5 minutes over, so it's time to wrap the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Again, it goes so quickly. Thank you for the donations as well. Yeah, we've got someone. Let's see. I don't know if my computer's going to click it up quickly enough. I probably shouldn't click anything at this stage because it will mess up. Opal Essence. Thank you, Opal Essence, for your donation. Thank you, ladies, again, for your wise wisdom and sharing in this kind of sort of Queen, Prince Charles, Duc L'Orange special. Cover lots of ground. Thank you, everyone, for the comments. I tried to click on as many of them as I could. I would have done more, but my computer's just been playing up. It's just the other laptop. My fault, because I was late. But you will see us again next week. I think it was fascinating what came out with the cards and how many of the cards repeated. God, I feel like I've only...
Statistically, it's ridiculous, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very consistent.
That.
So, perfect. So thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. We will be back next week with a wide variety of things. Ladies, any last words before I click off?
There was an Albie from Australia. Hi, Albie. May it be a brand new day. Oi, oi, oi.
And that's everyone, and a special wishes for those in England and those that were very much attached to the monarchy queen. So.
Yeah, she did her bit. Yeah, no one can take that from her.
No.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a remarkable reign, a remarkable life in a way. And we will never, I guarantee you guys, especially from the astrology, we will never, ever see the like again. She was the last of the great queens, as it were. Really, she is the last, and we all know it. We all know it. So very interesting times. Thanks to everyone as well for all the kind comments and the support. On Monday, I go and see the body. Yeah, so I'm like, I'll be there with my brothers and sisters, but I need to do it. It's part of it, and it's very surreal for us here in the UK. I know you only see us on The Crown or on TV, but for people in the UK, this is a real thing. I mean, we are really feeling it, and it's even left field. A lot of people that didn't expect to feel anything have been feeling very emotional, because it's just epic. So one foot in front of the other. Let's see what happens with the UK, and I pray for a warm winter. All right, everyone.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, it's warm winter. Please.
Take care, everyone.
Just for everyone. All right. I'm going to end it.
Yep.
If it will end. Oh, my God, there's the delay. Click. Oh, so I've got computer, folks.
It's still live.
This is why. Come on.